Welcome back to Blessed Hobby Farm. I was out doing some foraging a little while ago and I thought, well, this would be the perfect opportunity to make a video. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I have studied herbalism for the past 8 years and I have personally used all the species of plants and weeds and flowers that I'm about to show you on myself, on my daughter, and on my other family members. And I've had nothing but excellent results. So, without further ado, let's start with my absolute favorite one. And all these you can find in your yard. Let's go to this one right here. This one, let me grab a leaf. This is called broadleaf plantain or Plantago major. It's also known as white man's foot. It is edible as well as medicinal. You can actually pick these like you can dandelion leaves and put them in a salad in the springtime. You can cook them down like greens. You can make a tea with these, and they're really good for sore throats, the gastrointestinal system. If you got some kind of gas issues or digestive issues, it's really good for soothing that because it's a mucilage. That's the leaf. These are the seeds. The seeds are edible and medicinal as well. I've actually heard of people making plantain crackers with using the seeds. I've never done it before, but wouldn't mind doing it. Got a couple of stories using plantain. I have actually used it myself externally, and it's really good for bug bites, scrapes, cuts, any kind of a rash that you may have. I have personally seen it. A friend of mine got scratched by a dog and I put some on her leg, and within 24 to 48 hours the scratch was gone and there was no scar. My daughter has had numerous diaper rashes over the years, and I would put some oil made with this and I would apply it on the rash, and within 24 to 48 hours the rash was gone. So there's multiple uses for that. I like it externally better than internally, but it could be used internally as well. Here's another one. It's called common blue violet. It grows in big patches around my yard, and they bloom really beautiful blue flowers every spring. They are edible. You can eat the stems, the leaves, and the flowers. They are medicinal, but they're used mostly for edibles. You can actually pick the flowers and put them in a salad, and it makes a really beautiful and nutritious addition to any salad. Also, you can make honey, make like a syrup using the leaves and the flowers and honey, and make like a medicinal syrup, and it's really good and sweet. Now here is another form of plantain. This is called narrowleaf plantain. Has the exact same properties as the broadleaf. It's just not as well known as the broadleaf. But as you could tell, this is narrowleaf, and you can see the difference why. Every part of it is edible and medicinal, roots included. I actually have more of these than I have the broadleaf, so I use these a lot. This is Blackberry. It's the tame blackberry, so it doesn't have the thorns or anything on it, so you can touch it. Of course, everybody knows that blackberries are edible, but what a lot of people didn't know, or at least what I didn't know, is that the leaves can be used as a tea. The leaves have the same vitamins and minerals and antioxidant compounds in it that the berries do, so you can actually take these and dry them, and over the winter you can still get the same effect nutrition-wise by drinking blackberry tea. Here we've got a couple of Birddock plants. This one's, I'm pretty sure this one's in its first year. I don't know, the leaves are pretty big. It might be in its second year. Anyway, they get way bigger than this. It's been said that you can actually use these. They're edible and medicinal. It's been said that you can take these and put them in the soles of your shoes, and it helps with your feet. Also, the seeds which are in these little sticky pods right here. You can make crackers or bread using the seeds. And actually, if you can see the little hooks that are on the end of these, this is what people's dogs get into that run free, and it gets all over their fur and it gets all over your clothes if you're walking through the woods. But this is actually the plant that was that inspired the invention of Velcro, because I can't get it to focus in, but if you ever seen them, you can see the little hooks on the end. But yeah, these are medicinal. The seeds are inside there. You just got to pop them open. The root is the most medicinal one. The root, you can actually make a tincture. I take a tincture of it every day. It is good for like a detox, for purifying the blood and purifying the organs, and it's a blood builder. So when I was diagnosed a few years back with iron deficiency anemia, I started taking Birddock root, and 3 years later, no more anemia. If you live anywhere in the South, then this plant needs no introduction. This is what everyone calls pokeweed or poke salad. It's kind of some people say it's poisonous, some people say it's not. I know for a fact that at certain times of life it is edible. The berries, however, are not edible, but they make a good dye. I have heard, I don't know if anyone is familiar with the famous herbalist Susan Weed, but she says you can take one pokeberry if you've been traveling to foreign countries, and it's supposed to help with malaria and things of that nature. It's supposed to boost your immune system so that you don't get sick from traveling abroad. I don't know that for a certain fact, but that's just what I've heard. I do know that when this plant is young, and it's only, I don't know, about a foot tall, 2 foot tall, the very top leaves are edible. But after it gets so tall, and it's only the very top leaves, not this, I'll have to show you a smaller one if I can find it. And here we've got, it's known as curly dock, also it's known as yellow dock. These don't have the prickly little seeds like the Birddock has, but you can tell it gets its name from the curliness of the leaves here. That's what makes it curly dock. And if you was to dig down and dig the root out, you can see that it's a beautiful yellow color. It serves the same purpose as the Birddock, only a little bit more potent on the blood building side, as Birddock's more of a detox. This is more of a builder. It's also edible. You would want to get the smaller leaves, like down in the middle, because the bigger leaves will tend to be bitter. So I was trying to find some dandelion, but with it being about middle September, it's kind of hard to find those this time of year. But I did manage to find this with the blue flowers, and I don't want to get too close because I'm so excited for my little friend here. That is a garden spider. Some people call it a writing spider because you can see it looks like she's writing different letters in her web there. Non-aggressive, very beneficial. If you see one, just leave it alone. They won't attack. But the flower there with the blue, or the plant with the blue flowers there, that is known as chicory. And it is edible and medicinal. The root, if you dig it up and dry it out and then chop it up and roast it and use it like coffee, it makes a very good coffee substitute. And just up a little ways from the chicory that I didn't realize I had till a minute ago, which is awesome, that is Goldenrod. It's not blooming out so much right now because we're still in the last weeks of summer, but as we go into fall, those will bloom out and have the most awesome smell to them. Sweet as honey. The plant is medicinal. Everything from the blooms to the leaves to the root. It is really good for the common cold. Really good for upper respiratory issues, cold, flu, all those wintertime, fall time and wintertime ailments that come about. Alright, so the next plants I'm going to show you are not wild grown, but I thought they deserved an honorable mention. These are mums. And the mum blooms are actually medicinal. They're also good for colds, sore throats. You can make a tea with them or a syrup using honey. All you do is just pinch off the blooms, and it's actually good for the plant to do that because that allows for more foliage to come about. Just make sure that they're grown without any pesticides and all that. This is lemon balm. I just started working with it at the first of the year, and I must say it is one of my favorites. And if I had a must-have list, this would be at the top of it. Well, second to it, because plantain is definitely a must-have. But this is it's a mild sedative. It's for relaxing, anxiety and depression and all that. It's a sleep aid. It is actually mild enough to give to children in the form of tea, or make a tincture with using glycerin instead of alcohol. And it will be a good sleep aid for kids. But another way you can tell lemon balm is if you mash the leaves, you'll get a nice lemony smell in your hands. This is called Dayflower, and I have been growing it just as a house plant for years, and people think of it as an invasive weed because it can outlast anything and anyone. But I just recently found out that Native Americans used this as a type of cough, cold, and flu remedy. Just making a tincture or a tea out of it, or cooking it down and eating it. Okay guys, that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up for now. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I didn't answer a whole lot of questions or get into the whole lot of the medicinal aspects of everything, but if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you. See you on the next. Bye.